Well, hello. Welcome to Tarot Tuesday. I'm Jenny Friedman, and I'm here to go over the group. We're doing Eclipse, a special edition today because of the lunar eclipse. So I've got questions. I got your questions all set, and I'm recording them to play for you guys here. Anyone who's stopping by and you guys want to see about how I can, in my free time, make some more extra of this because, yeah, I do a lot of other things to bring in money. Tarot, I'm doing today for free. So, yeah, that's a nice thing. And what we're looking at here is, let me pull this up, the questions. Um, because this is, let me move things over. Okay. So because the lunar eclipse today, it was 6 o'clock this morning where I live, and on East Coast time, and it's about emotional culmination, surrender, intuition, illusion. The moon, all these things, right? The things that are dissolving because it's a lunar eclipse, right? Where you can't see the moon at one point. It was fully eclipsed. So it's also about spiritual truth coming out, surfacing. And so I'm going to go through, if you belong to the Soulmate Structure Facebook group, that's where I'm looking in here to people had already posted who wanted the tarot cards pulled for them. So we're going to just go right in there. If you have not joined that group, please check out the description box below so you can go to the group. And I always do full moon tarot card pulls and new moon tarot card pulls. So today I had everybody give me their sun sign and tell me what you know, what their sign was, and we're going to do it that way. Okay, so I can kind of be a little specific for you. So we're going to start with Jennifer Present. Hope I said that right. Um, so Jennifer, Zeb and I were going to ask the question, what truth have I been talking around that this eclipse is now asking me to emotionally acknowledge? Okay, so what does Jennifer need to know about this truth that she's been talking about that we're asking her to emotionally acknowledge? Okay, so looks like you've had an idea, Jen, that, ooh, okay. So the first card out, you've got your, hope you can see that. No? Queen of Swords. There she is, dun, 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 with her sword. She's someone who's, smart, wise, tough, can be a little to the point, kind of, I say bitter, but it's not bitter and about, I mean, like, yeah, you're just like, getting it done. And it had to do with the message of surrender. So your message was to surrender, and you're like, okay, I can't swing from being super attached to this thing, this truth that you've been wrestling with, because also the Queen of Swords is the Queen of Truth, right? She's like got this absolute truth in her head, and you've been challenged to surrender. And you're to like, let me try to balance it out. And that's the guidance. It's asking you to surrender, let it go. Like it's not yours to hold on to. And excuse me while I have, hold on. Really? Okay. Hate it when the phone rings like that. So Jennifer, it has to do with this truth. It's asking you to surrender, really. You've been trying to balance things out and it's saying, like, let it go. Stop trying so hard to make it be a balanced scenario. Okay. So next we have Becky. Becky. And Becky, the question we're asking is, where am I clinging to stability that is quietly dissolving? And what deeper security wants to emerge? Ooh. So where is Becky clinging to stability that wants to, it's like it's quietly dissolving. This has to do probably in your relationship with someone that you love, your King of Cups. This can also be you being the person who's take charge in that department. But you basically have a lot of bright prospects. You have a lot of goodies on the horizon. We see with this star card, right? And you're trying to go on this new adventure. You're trying to move forward. You're trying to like get on the boat and get going. That boat's not in the harbor yet. You can't get on the boat right now. You can't get on the boat right now. Stop trying to get on the boat right now. You know, in order to have a deeper security, you have to like look and see all these bright prospects that are surrounding you. You have other things that you can do that are good enough for now as the instability starts to level out. Because you can't right now it's just you're not it's like a fool's errand to try to feel stable in something that where the vehicle that you need to take you where you want to go hasn't arrived yet. Hope that makes sense. Next we have Rena. Okay, Rena. Rena has also given me her sun and her rising, which is helpful. So I'm going to do it by your rising sign, Rena. And so this is asking what part of independence is actually avoidance, and what is the eclipse asking me to soften into instead of being this hyper independent person or avoiding things that you should be paying attention to. So let's see for Rena, what she got. So Rena, right away, Miss Projector, you've got the world. So this is success, I mean, Wheel of Fortune. This is timing, right? And where you've been praying and hoping there is something here for you in cups, opportunity, this celebrating, okay? Because you're working in a team, not independently. So if we think about what part of independence is actually avoidance, it may be where you really need to take a look at what you've been so, fervently trying to make happen for yourself. This is the Five of Cups. So it's a point of view. You're like, I want this, and you're like hyper independent, or maybe hyper independence isn't the right word, but like the independent mind that you're like, you know what you want, you know how to do it. So you're like going for it. But I mean, I really think the time, I mean, this is the Wheel of Fortune is a cycle. I think the old cycle has to close. And I think you're asking, the eclipse is asking you to consider working with others in a new way instead of going it alone or trying to just be growing your own independent tower. You want to instead like work with others and grow together. Okay, hope that was helpful. Okay, we got Kay. I happen to know she's saying her sun sign and rising sign. We're going to go with your rising sign since, well, I could go with both, but let's see. Well, flew out. I'm going with this, with Gemini. So we're asking, what truth have you been talking about that this eclipse is now asking you to emotionally acknowledge? You got the Fool first up. Where have you been looking at things like playfully, and maybe in the less than mature, I'll say, way, because then you also get the King of Swords and you too get the Three of Cups. You guys just saw me shuffle. I mean, so you're being asked to maybe like emotionally, what's it like to work with some others in a way where maybe you're not the one that has all the ideas. You know, maybe your idea isn't the front and center idea for a little while. It's or how can I work with a group where my ideas, it's a new adventure, I guess I would say, with the Fool, but like it's kind of, I mean, if you look at the picture here, these beautiful cards that someone special gave to me, haha, Kay gave them to me. Um, you see the moon right there, right? And so, when this guy comes in, the King of Swords, and he's the idea guy, right? He's the wise soul. And I know as a Pisces, you're a wise soul, right? But you got this celebrating coming in. So I think new, like emotionally, it's time for a change. It's time I was saying initially, like your ideas, I think you might have an idea about what you want to do, and I think the universe might have a better idea for you. Let's look really quick just to see um, in your sun sign what this looks like with your sun. Yeah, and again, so it's got the Knight, Queen of Pentacles. So I have a feeling that if you try to move forward and just what you think you know, you're not going to be as happy as if you move forward with assistance. My 2 cents. Okay, so moving into Robin. Robin, what ambitions no longer aligned with your soul direction? And what feels more meaningful now in this eclipse season for Robin? Whoa, hold on. Ah. Meanwhile, if you guys haven't joined me over here, please just go do yourself a favor and go check it out take a screenshot, check it out for 5 minutes, see what it's about. I've been making extra money on the side of all the other things I do, and it's so fun. And it's a great group collaborative thing. I mean, it's not collaborative, but it's a team thing. So for you, Robin, it looks like it's time, you've been trying to transform your money situation. And so it's asking you what's no longer aligned with your soul's direction. I would say you've got to stop worrying. I mean, this is like super worry card. Stop the worry about it. It's not going to get you what you want to keep worrying about something, right? What should you do instead of worry? Robin, let things fall apart. You're going to come out fine. Something in your world has to transform and go, and it's wrapped around your legacy. You may have a program or something that it's time to shelve it and start something new. And maybe not start a whole new thing, but you got the tower coming in. I know you can't see this because of my background thing, but and then the Queen of Cups. So everything's going to be fine if you can let go of attachments. Do you guys hear the theme here? Anybody hear a theme? Okay, so Fiona, we got Fiona. Let's see, Fiona. Fiona, let's see, what have we got for Fiona? Where have I detached from my own emotions in the name of objectivity, and what wants to be felt for Fiona? So that's an issue about clarity, about a situation that actually is no longer in play. You've completed a cycle. It's time to move on. It's time to move forward. You do not have to sit into the same thing. It says, where have I detached from my own emotions? You have detached from your own emotions, probably in the name of clarity, because you knew how to do something. You had the mental clarity. You were like, this is how I'm doing it. But the way you've been doing it has to change, and you have to move forward. Even though that's working, you need to move forward in some new, like, want more. Want more, Fiona. Want more. Allow yourself to want more. All right, we have Ursula. Ursula, please. Ursula, where has perfectionism masked fear? And what would surrender look like here? Ooh, that is powerful. Where for Fiona has perfectionism masked her fear? And what would surrender look like? So all the fears, right? Probably could have guessed that answer, but you've been in a fight for so long that there's devastation behind you. But notice it is behind this guy. It's behind him. Okay? It's behind you. You need to soar with your higher self here. So when it's saying the fear of being hurt, the fear of probably especially being hurt with words, like being in fights, being annihilated verbally. And so what would surrender look like? Surrender just looks like you just tune into to your soul. You tune into spirit. Go to your higher self. Let her fly you away, right? Make the connection. The high priestess is beautiful. I always think of the high priestess as your higher self. Like go higher, right? They always say fly higher, but it's really about in order to let go, you just have to really identify that, oh, this fear has been keeping me safe because it kept me safe during all the fighting. You see, that's over. So you need to move into this new space, right? And move on. All right, we've got Betty. Hello, Betty. Gottwald, she's Cancer Sun. Where have I overextended my nurturing and what boundary is my soul ready to restore? Ooh, that's a really good question, isn't it? For Betty, where has she overextended her nurturing and needs to use her boundaries? I feel like I know the answer. Okay. So you've been nurturing a wish. It's not a person. You've been nurturing a deep desire that you've had to really come in, swoop in, and be the hero. I mean, this is not a bad wish. You're wishing for financial stability, all the things, abundance. But there is this, I'm going to clarify this knight in shining armor thing coming in with fire and passion. I think you've not, I think Yeah, I mean, you got some success coming in. So when you're saying, where have I overextended my nurturing? You've been nurturing a wish and desire for so long that I think you actually might have outgrown it and didn't realize. The passion, if you think about it though, tune in to the passion. Do you still have all that passion for the original idea, the wish? Because I see you having success, um, and it's like, I think you're ready to restore more passion. Like you've been doing something because it was the way to do it, and you knew that's what you wanted to do. You wanted that result, so you did that thing. And now, but you kind of at the expense of like having as much passion and heat as you enjoy in your world. So I would say you're ready to restore some passion. That's good. That's a good month for it coming up in March. So that's good. All right, Helen, we got Helen. Helen, she loves that cat. Yep, she's Capricorn. What ambition is no longer aligned with Helen's soul direction, and what feels more meaningful now? For Helen, what would feel more meaningful now? Whoa. Well, you get a big old idea. Okay. So there's truth coming into you. Okay. And the ambition is no longer aligned with your soul direction. I mean, you just got this, it's very much self-sabotage energy, right? You're just can you be done with self-sabotage energy and work on your legacy? It looks like what you want to work on is legacy. Could also be real estate, could be finding a new place to live, but it requires that you really let go of the ambition of having your ideas be the ideas. Like maybe it's okay to let someone else's idea be your focus for right now, just so that you can build up again, right? All right. We got Inger. All right, Inger. I love this with her Taurus, cute, cute. I'm looking at my phone, guys, and it's like, you see, oh, you can't even see this, right? Shoot. Ah, there's a picture. Anyway, never mind. Inger, let's see, Inger Shay. So she's got, where am I clinging to stability that is quietly dissolving and what deeper security wants to emerge for Inger? It is, right. So it's a Wheel of Fortune, King of Pentacles. So I think this came out before for someone with the same, maybe it was someone else who was a Taurus. It's basically saying the same. So that's so interesting, isn't it? You're clinging to stability because of the money. You're just thinking money. That's got to change because stability won't be coming from money anymore. Stability is going to come from the heart, coherent heart connection. And you've been fighting all these, you've been very mental. It's time to go drop into your heart space and let go of operating. This whole cycle that you've been in has been so mental, trying to do things from a mental, like learning mental way instead of an energetic, heart coherent way. And so you're being invited to change that now and let the mental thing dissolve a little bit so that you can get the actual deeper security, because you're always you. You're always, you're safe. You're always safe. I hope that helps. All right, we got Alicia. I happen to know Alicia. We're looking at Aquarius. Where have I detached from my own emotions in the name of objectivity and what wants to be felt? She's detached. So it looks like you've sort of detached. Now, I don't know which relationship this is, but trying to look at things objectively, you've kind of detached from really who you are on some level, the relationship you have with yourself. So you have to take authority and you have to allow it to be an end of a cycle and just like, oh, that was just a cycle and move forward. You do not need to let the cycle that you were just in, where you were not so much the authority, hold you back. Like, let that go. Yeah, you reevaluated. It's okay. Like right now, step back into your authority. Step back into, like, say it's I'm time for a new cycle, right? New cycle of if I had to guess, let's see. New cycle of, it's saying your emotional health, but let's see. Yeah, there's a new ship coming in, new opportunity. New opportunities are coming in. So take advantage of this new energy to create opportunity for yourself. Okay. Hope that helps. We got Rachel. Rachel, what truth has Rachel been talking about that this eclipse is now asking you to emotionally acknowledge? Okay, Rachel, what truth has she been talking about that she has to surrender? Okay, so it's definitely, you've had like a conflict with someone, or so it looks like a conflict of priorities, really. You're being asked to just, you know what, surrender and allow in a new opportunity. You've got something new coming right in. You're not on the new boat yet. You're not ready quite yet, but you need to acknowledge, and I'm looking to see it, emotionally acknowledge that it's time to surrender the good fight. Trust that the next thing coming in for you is working in your best, highest best. Okay, I hope that was helpful. We've got Arena. Arena is a Pisces. What illusion about who I am is dissolving and whom I'm becoming without it. Love that. What illusion about who I am is dissolving and who am I becoming without it? What illusion? Well, I think I think that you try to be patient when you're trying to make things happen. You're like, "Oh, it's okay. I'm very patient," but you're actually not really patient. So it's like an illusion, like it's okay to not be patient or to like patience is hard, right? Or, just trying to be that foot. Think of it this way. Where do you have your foot in, 1 foot out? Where are you not all in? And you are being invited to go all in at this time. So, in this next period of time, you probably just got out of releasing something, but it's asking, what illusion am I dissolving? I mean, this being a balanced, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, like you need to be like thinking of commitments and devoted magician activities of making things happen. So that's interesting. Arena, all of you, I'd love to hear how this hits for you. You can leave it in the Facebook group or you can leave it in the comments below here. Delia, Delia, I hope I'm saying that right, Delia. She is sad. Where have I been spiritually bypassing something practical that now needs grounded attention? That's an interesting question. Delia, where have you been spiritually bypassing something practical? Where have you been? Whoa, okay. All right, so you're always trying to move on. Boy, you got a lot of moon cards. This has been a really big eclipse thing for you, okay? It looks like you're a striving person who's always you're like, you know what? I want more. You want more. You're ambitious. That's great. I suggest you go here, check it out. This is for ambitious people, not lazy people, ambitious people. But an Eight of Cups opportunity, like if you're ever looking for the next thing, right? Like where you have been spiritually bypassing is like instead of taking the time to sit in the energy of what is and what's really beautiful that is, and you're always looking forward, like it's time to celebrate. Like don't go, oh yeah, thanks, I know that was good, and just keep striving. If you don't stop and tune in and feel the celebration part, then what happens is the universe is like, oh, she doesn't even care about celebrating, and they stop sending you things to celebrate. I know that sounds a little paranoid, but I'm just saying if you think about it, what you're being invited to do right now is stop, like ground in appreciation. Okay, that's what it is. Ground in appreciation. Be like, I love it when this happens, and I so appreciate it, and really dig into all the good feels. Okay, so that you get more of that. All right, Chardonnay. All right, we got Chardonnay. What truth have I been talking around that this eclipse is now asking me to emotionally acknowledge? Chardonnay, what truth have you been talking about that this eclipse is now asking me to emotionally acknowledge? Like it's something you know, but you haven't wanted to feel it. Wow, Chardonnay. Okay, so basically, you've been like, everything's fine, everything's really good, I'm all happy. You've had a huge decision, commitment to make, and it's going to require that everything falls apart. So if you think about this, emotionally acknowledging that, like, I was saying everything was okay, but once I really made the real big girl decision, like, it needed to fall away. it's not actually my highest good. I need to do something else. Interesting, huh? All right, we got Shanna. Shanna like bananas. Shanna is asking, where have I been spiritually bypassing something practical now that needs to be granted attention? So you too have been, you have a tendency to be like dismissing good happiness, happy times, good things. You just go, oh yeah, of course, good things. And you're acting, that bypassing it. Like I don't have to actually celebrate or do a thing. And it's saying like, you know what? Like sometimes you're finding that you actually need to feel the worry. You don't need to say, oh my God, don't feel worried, don't feel worried. I don't want to bring in things to worry about. Like you're almost micromanaging your manifestations is kind of the thing here. So like what you want to do is don't spiritually bypass any of your feelings. Like feel them fully and allow you, including worry, and just know that everything is fine. Sometimes that hermit energy just needs to be felt like, yeah, wow, I feel all alone. I feel funky. I feel not amazing, right? You don't have to feel amazing to have an amazing life. Every minute of the day, we're human. So we feel all the ranges of emotions, right? If you're just tuning in, make sure you take a screenshot of this so that you can come and join me there. At least go check it out. It's free to check out. See what I'm all excited about. We're going to next do Brianna. Woohoo, Brianna. Where am I clinging to stability that is quietly dissolving and what deeper security wants to emerge? Where am I clinging to stability that is quietly dissolving? Where is Brianna clinging to stability that is quietly dissolving? Brianna. Ah, where am I clinging to stability? I think you've been having kind of you've been so love oriented, but you're getting real clarity. So you got King of Cups, like this male energy of love, and you've got real clarity that like, no, done with this. So when the question is, where am I clinging to stability? You could be in a partnership of some sort that on the surface has all the reasons in the world to be doing it. Because it seems like a smart decision, seems like a secure, to build safety and security. But if you let it go, something better will come in its place, big time. Yeah. All right. Hope that was helpful. We got Stacy. Stacy. Stacy says, what part of my independence is actually avoidance? And what is the eclipse asking me to soften into instead? What part of my independence is actually avoidance? Well, being the authority, and especially with stepping into a loving relationship with a male counterpart. You've got two people talking, if you can see this, if you can see the seahorses on either side of the head. You got two. You're the authority. You are the authority. So it's saying, just saying it's my opinion, it's what I want to do, it's taking that authority. You're actually avoiding these bigger conversations that if you look at like here's the King of Cups and his seahorses are facing out, and you get a message from some young people, their messages are coming in. So you're hearing a lot of competing stuff going on, and it's telling you, this eclipse is inviting you to say, yes, I am the authority, but you could soften into someone who I'm considering what you're saying. I hear you. I respect your opinion. I acknowledge you. You may be doing this already, but it's just saying in a softer way, like you're coming in like you have every right and you're right to feel this um, authority and sovereignty. However, you could soften into more loving messaging around the authority because it's not coming, it doesn't need to come from a place of, well, it's my life. I get to do what I want. Instead, it's like, wow, I really respect how you feel. This is how I feel. And, when I was, your age and then my life, like relating with the people more so that they can understand you. Like you understand you, they are not understanding. And it's just asking you to soften up a little bit with that communication and let it go. Your sovereignty is not in jeopardy. You're still the authority. You don't have to fight to be an authority. You just are. So, okay. Amber, we got Amber. Amber is a Sag. So where have I been spiritually bypassing something practical that now needs grounded attention? Where has Amber been spiritually bypassing? Okay. You're ever hopeful. You're ever hopeful, Amber, and you're like, oh, I can just I can see this working out. Let me try this. And you're being invited, I will call it, right? To take inventory. Some things need to go. All opportunities are not great opportunities for now. And so be more selective. You have lots of abundance coming in. So I think you have nothing to worry about. But for this eclipse, I do think it's basically saying don't spiritually bypass um, by just being like, oh, things will work out, things will work out. Like you're literally like, you need to take inventory and with a clear head, like be real, ground in reality for a little bit here and say, what do I need to let go of because it's really not working out so that I can have more bandwidth to do things that will work out. Hope that was helpful. All right, Beck, we got Beck here. Beck, I know your rising sign, so I'm going to look at that one, which is what relationship dynamic is out of balance and what truth must be felt instead of smooth over. Whoa, things are falling everywhere. Hold on. All right. So there's a relationship with a person, a male person, a smart man, wise man. And there's some passion here that, and this has to, it's just, it says out of balance. I don't know who this would be because I know you've worked really hard to get things in balance. But there's still someone who's a male, and it's inviting you to actually process the wound and let it flow out of you. So it could still be some of that still going. And this eclipse is like slamming the final nail in the coffin. And it's time to actually do a really passionate, like, instead of making it nice, be like, there's no need to make things nice. I feel like no. And you close the chapter, you put the nail in the, where it's in the coffin, like bye, like it's done. So this was the end of this is the close, this eclipse corridor. And now today, this is the final done. Ooh, interesting. That's good. Okay, we got Eileen. Eileen with her Scorpioness. Emotional attachments ready to be released so deeper power can return to me. Emotional attachment ready to be released. People pleasing. So it's saying, Eileen, basically, being attached to your go get 'em attitude just to please the boss. You're being asked to think about what lights you up instead of just being like, move forward because that's what you're supposed to do. It's your job. You're always looking at opportunities. You're expanding. Like, how can you do it in a way that would actually light your heart on fire? That you would just be like, I love my job, right? I love what I do. I love my life. You're being asked to emotional attachments, right? If you were to let go of pleasing people for the sake of keeping the peace, and you actually dove into some passion of yours, then you'd be way more powerful and actually have what you want probably even faster. Hope that was helpful. All right, we got Claudia. Claudia, where is perfectionism masked fear, and what would surrender look like here? Claudia M. Claudia. Where's perfectionism masked fear? You're really trying to make sure nobody gets one over on you. And you're really in your head. You think you're being smart. You think you're being wise and that you're taking account of all the things. And it's actually because you're afraid of having no control. And it's telling you basically, um, what would surrender look like here? Go back to the drawing board. Stop trying to force your ideas. Those ideas that just you kept pounding and trying to make them work. Um, and go back to the drawing board and find something you're more passionate that lights you up more than just, oh, it was the smart right thing to do because it was the smart thing to do or the right thing to do. And instead, find the thing that makes your heart sing. That's what this is about. Okay, Carrie. Carrie M. He says, Aquarius, baby. Okay, Aquarius. Where have I detached from my own emotions in the name of objectivity and what wants to be felt? Boy, okay. Yep. Mm. So, Carrie, you have detached a little bit from being this spiritual entrepreneur, um, and really gone into the feels with friends and family. And what wants to be felt isn't really opportunity right now. It's really just want to feel strength. So what does Carrie need to do? You're detached from your own emotions because you've just been like, I'm not going to say you've been spiritually bypassing, but you've had a persona and it has something to do around spirituality, higher self, entrepreneurship, and fitting, like being a part of the party. And this is like, it's a time now for strength. How clarify the strength, please? How can Carrie feel stronger? Queen of Cups. Again, you guys see the theme here? You're being asked to really look at what you love. I see two puppies in this picture. I mean, nature, animals. Um, Again, it's about heart over ambition, if I had to say the theme here. And you're not going to lose anything. Going stronger into your heart, you will have more heart coherence. You'll actually get what you want better than you could if you play by everybody else's rules. Okay. So I hope that helps. All right. So we've come into the end here. We got two more. Teza Luna. She's got Scorpio. What emotional attachments ready to be released so deeper power can return to her? Teza, I'm probably pronouncing your name wrong. I apologize. But you have got to let go of the worry. You think if you worry enough, you'll be successful or something like that, right? Your need to feel a certain way has to just be let go. And you need to really process fear and worry and like get it in, through, and out of you. Okay. I recommend going to Brian Scott Reality Revolution here on YouTube and look up anything having to do with emotional clearing, dissolving. Actually, I have in my playlist my capacity code. This makes me think of that. Like you need to grow your capacity so that you can have success. So you're being asked to let go of this ideal thing that you have about how things should be and stop worrying about that and like allow in your wave your freak flag. It's the age of Aquarius. It's time to really just be, oh, she goes in the Scorpioing this eclipse. Yeah, I love it. I think that's, where your emotional attachment. There's something that you just feel like is you're part of your process and you're being invited to let that go. Okay. And we got Annie P. Annie, I'm going to, what part of my independence is actually avoidance? And what is this eclipse asking me to soften into instead? Okay. You are overly attached to your ideas and talking about your ideas, most specifically. You love all the thoughts that you have, and you actually are very smart and can wield the sword in ways that annihilate other people. You're being invited to soften into a justice warrior that sees there is justice. There's not just the war. There's a lot of carnage in your wake, and you want to soften into more balance so that you're not, you know, having to fight so hard, honestly. I mean, I don't know that you get out of the fight, but you get smarter. If you look at her, she's looking at both sides. She's being more fair-minded. She's like, I'm not even caring what I think. I'm just really being objective. I think you haven't been probably you're very mental with, like I was saying about like your ideas, or your mental, like the way you think, your ideas, your inspirations, those hits. And while that's great and a power of yours, maybe it is not going to help you create a balanced life. So you're being invited to be a little more balanced. So, guys, I hope that was super helpful for you. I so appreciate you being here with me. And I'm going to be doing tarot on Tuesdays. So I thought this is a great day to kick off my Tarot Tuesdays. Join Soul Meet Structure on Facebook so that you can be in on the when I do things like this, but you can also just go below in the comments if you would like, and I can still pull cards for people that comment what your sun sign is, or your sun and rising, and I will draw some cards for you, and I will just write it in the comments, okay? So thank you so much. I so enjoy you guys. I will talk to you soon. Okay? Bye. And that's it.